The night air over Chicago felt cold and electric, while the biggest arena in the world glowed like a furnace. Jack Mercer stood at the top of his game, a man with black hair, steady eyes, and the calm face of a champion who had won everything. He had trained for years to reach this final championship, and the whole world had come to watch him defend his crown. But this was not just about pride, because if Jack lost here, his name would stop meaning hope, and the last great test of his life would end in silence. His first opponent was Victor Cain, a broad-shouldered man with red hair and a hard smile, known for breaking rivals with pressure before the first blow ever landed. Victor wanted the title because he believed power should belong to the cruelest fighter in the ring. Yet Jack noticed something strange as the match began. A dark wraith shape moved behind Victor like a living shadow, and every time Jack hesitated, the shadow grew stronger. It fed on doubt, on fear, and on the tiny cracks inside a fighter's mind. That was when Jack understood the real danger. He was not only facing Victor, but also a hidden force that could turn every rival into a weapon. The championship became a long road through harsh places and loud crowds. In Dallas, Jack fought through a match where the cheers sounded like knives and the wraith whispered that he was getting old. In Denver, it used the high mountains and the thin air to drain his body and shake his thoughts. Then Coach Sarah Lane arrived, a sharp-eyed woman with brown hair who had trained Jack since he was young, and she told him the truth she had learned from old records. The wraith had once haunted champions and fed on pressure until they collapsed from the inside. It could not create skill, but it could twist fear until a strong fighter made his own mistakes. Jack had to stop trying to silence the fear. He had to face it, name it, and keep moving anyway. So Jack went to an ancient training ground outside Phoenix, where cracked stone walls stood under a bright sky and old masters had once taught discipline. There he learned to breathe through the noise, to stand still while his mind raged, and to trust his hands even when his heart shook. Victor attacked him there one last time, using the wraith's whispers to claim that Jack's best years were already gone. Jack almost broke, and for one terrible moment he saw himself falling apart. Then he remembered every person who had believed in him, every hard morning, and every lesson that strength was not the absence of fear. It was the decision to act anyway. With that truth, Jack drove the wraith back, and Victor finally stepped away from the shadow that had been guiding him. The final championship returned to New York, inside a world stage built for legends, and the air felt heavier than before. Victor entered alone now, no longer hidden inside the wraith's control, and he fought with real skill and real pride. Jack met him face to face, and the match became a battle of will more than force. When the wraith rose one last time, Jack did not flinch. He stood firm, turned its doubt into focus, and broke its hold over the arena. The shadow collapsed, the crowd exploded in triumph, and Victor could no longer hide behind fear. Jack raised his hands not as a perfect man, but as a stronger one, because he had finally conquered the collapse inside himself and reached the true zenith of greatness.